Now, I've had my fair share of experiences with women, and for most of my time in secondary school, so a big portion of my academic years, I was not very talkative to women, and I think that contributed to a explosion of finding all of the ways to be more charismatic, flirtatious, and more willing to talk to women in college now. Because back then I scoffed at the people that were talking to women, right? But deep down I was a little bit jealous. I was a little bit jealous that, for example, one guy, I won't name him, one guy was just, you know, I respect him and he's a pretty attractive guy, but one day I was just walking up to my school and I just saw this guy walk across like the intersection point with fucking like 5 girls, and this dude being in the middle. And I was shocked at that. I was like, shit, I gotta get to that level. Now, I'm not completely at that level yet, and I still have a lot to learn. But generally speaking, I think throughout my couple of months at college now, I believe I have learned a significant amount of do's and don'ts. But I have always had a growth mindset. And because I had this growth mindset from a very young age, I had it even through my years of bad mental health. People thinking that I'm this silent, judgmental guy, and then them enforcing those expectations, and then me with my fucking imposter syndrome. And as soon as I got out of this old mold, I went into college and there's a bunch of new people. And with this growth mindset, I've been working in the background. I've been learning about charisma, learning about confidence, learning about social skills. And then as soon as I'm in a new classroom with new strangers, 2 months or so go by and I've completely shattered that old identity of mine. That old identity of mine where I could not talk to a woman. So now the first tip is start off slowly. Become slow, become relaxed. And most importantly, don't have anything to gain from it. So a big mistake I made when I was practicing these social skills in my classrooms in this new college, right? And I was doing pretty well for a couple of weeks. Insane amounts of reactions and whatever. It's not to go and say that I'm seeking validation. I'm seeking external validation for myself to be happy, right? That's not what I'm saying. But I do get reactions from things I've learned online. So, for example, I learned some charismatic tactic and I go and consciously or subconsciously, most of the time subconsciously, bring that shit out in real life scenarios. Like there's reactions, right? And I learn from that. And this cycle is extremely powerful for your growth, your social skill growth. But there is a trap waiting for you. And this is the trap I fell into. You begin to expect that you are going to get something. You've already gone used to the baseline level of all of the girls like looking at you and shit. And that is now your baseline level because you've hit that. And then the next lesson comes along and you have this subconscious mindset of, oh, I want to gain, I want more than that. And then because you can't have all bangers, right? You can't have every lesson like literally focusing all on you, right? And this lesson, the second lesson comes along. You want it to happen and it doesn't happen, and that will cause you to be depressed. And when you're depressed, the next lesson comes along, it will create a fucking downward spiral because it will happen again, and then you'll become more depressed and then you'll be less able to perform. So don't rush it. Start off slowly. Masculinity is a slowness, a slow moving, and slow moving is trust. A female can trust you, or a feminine man can trust you more if you speak slower, move slower, and are more relaxed in your body. They can probably sense that you're nervous or whatever by the way you're breathing, by the way you're conveying your body language, you're all fucking tight and shit. So 1, be slow and relaxed. Number 2 is do not have anything to gain. Have the mindset before every lesson. I have nothing to gain. I'm just here to be myself. I am just here to experience. I am just here to be playful. That is what I tell myself with every important social interaction now. Now, the second tip is you have to practice being the icebreaker. Be the initiator. Now, there is an illusion when it comes to women. This was what I fell victim to in my whole fucking time in secondary school. So initially you meet this new female, this group of strangers, and most of them are female. It would do you extremely good to break the ice. Be the initiator. Say something first. Say hello. Smile. And that will turn this giant wall of fucking dragons. Oh, what are they thinking about me? It will turn all of that into just a group of people, which they are just a group of people. Because most of the time they seem scary at first, especially when they have like a frown face or they have a resting face, right? But as soon as you say something that breaks the ice, say hello, make a joke, give them a compliment, smile, that you literally come off as a charismatic, overconfident guy that deep down inside you maybe are not yet. And the more you do of that, the more you go outside your comfort zone and show yourself that you are actually charismatic, at least outside perform charismatically, the more your inside's going to be affected. And then over time, maybe like a good couple of months of you just like going outside of your comfort zone, breaking the ice between all of these like strangers, you'll begin to get the solidified identity of a charismatic man. And this is how you change your identity and what you think about yourself drastically. And so a good rule here is if there are smiles from the woman, it's already 50% won, because they are smiling and they do not think you're a serial killer or some shit. And it's just like a guard down. Do you get what I mean? So basically, if you don't smile, she won't smile. I've noticed that a lot of women in my class, they sort of require, this doesn't go for all women, right? Just state that before we go any further. But a lot of women need this permission to smile, this permission to laugh. And this isn't any like fucking hate towards women. It's literally what I've noticed, right? I laugh out loud at a joke, and then the female laughs, and then whoever laughs. This applies to both men and women, right? But if I laugh loud at a joke that no one's really laughing at, that they're just smiling at, right? I laugh out loud, bam, one laughs over there, bam, one laughs over there, because they sort of gone this group allowance to laugh, because now that I've laughed, right? I've laughed out loud and I've broken the group unanimity. And this often goes for conversations as well. If you start the conversation first, bam, 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 comment, compliment, comment, funny question, they start speaking because you've broke the ice. And the third and final thing is shit tests. You have to learn about the shit test. This is such an important part of man to woman. Even if you're not boyfriend, girlfriend yet, as soon as you two like talk to each other and are slightly interested in each other, thinking about the possibilities of dating, bam, it starts right there. And most of the shit tests, at least for me, when I first started experiencing shit tests, right, I took my first shit test as like a goal achieved. So anytime you receive a shit test, you may not notice it at first, and you may actually just like innately reply to the shit test with a logical answer directly to the content of what she is saying. But you have to realize that maybe she isn't complaining about what she's complaining about. Like what she said, you haven't cleaned the garage, man. A lot of the time she may actually just be trying to test you and trying to qualify you to see if you are a man of virtue. So for example, the garage thing, right? Why haven't you cleaned out the garage? She doesn't actually want you to clean the garage. It'd be nice, right, to clean out the garage. It'd be empty or whatever. But what she wants is for you to get off your ass and actually follow through with your words. So for example, maybe you've promised her ages ago, like a couple of weeks ago, that you're going to clean the garage tomorrow. You don't, and then now she's complaining about it again. She doesn't want you to clean the garage necessarily as much as she wants you to be a man of your word. That is what she is testing. That is what she's commenting on. And so a shit test that I received from a woman, this is kind of still a bit recent, so I can't really commentate on it. And I don't really have a good eagle's eye over the entire situation yet anyways. But essentially out of nowhere, this woman was just talking about podcasts, and then she just struck Andrew Tate out of nowhere. To give you some context before we continue with the story, back in my old school, I was known for liking Andrew Tate. Just a little bit above the average guy. I didn't even obsess over him that much, but word spread around the school that I was a Andrew Tate fan. And so my theory here is that in this new college, with this new female that I was talking to, and she randomly brung up podcasts, and then they suddenly just flew to talking about Andrew Tate. It is my perception and my prediction that perhaps she did some research on him, because I think maybe you know, there's never a solid prediction that a woman likes you, but I'm pretty sure this woman's liked me before, and she's like moderately attracted to me, and I'm moderately attracted to her. But just the fact that maybe she's done some research and asked me what school I went to before, and then asked the people that she knows that went to my school. And perhaps this was a conscious shit test. Usually shit tests are like more subconscious, right? She's gonna fucking out of nowhere just complain about something and then you have to figure that shit out. But this was more of a conscious shit test. And the way to pass this shit test, which I say I passed, right? Because it got to a point where she's like, oh, you know an awful lot about Andrew Tate. Are you an Andrew Tate fan? And then I said no, because honestly, bro, deadass, no. Because I've shifted, right? I'll admit I was a sort of Andrew Tate fan at one point, but now I've shifted to being more of a fan of myself. And I've got a lot more based beliefs, like a lot of beliefs that I make on my own, and I critical think a lot now. And I don't have one singular person that I follow. Not Hamza, not Iman Gaji, not Alex Hormozy, not Andrew Tate. I follow myself and take a bunch of advice from a bunch of different people. That is what I do now. And so, honestly speaking, I said no. But if I said something else, if I said, no, I hate Andrew Tate, that would have been a significant failure to the test. Because look again deeper, right? The shit test isn't about whether you like Andrew Tate or not. She doesn't care about that as much as you saying, no, I hate Andrew Tate, but she can sense that you actually like it and that you are inauthentic and you are like bending your inner truth, bending your inner virtue just to please her. That is the ultimate form of failing a shit test. You straight up lying just to please her. Because women fuck men they respect, not men they like or dislike. They can still fucking hate you, but if they respect you, they will still smash. And so the number one way to absolutely pass like 80% of shit tests is to be one, authentic, and secondly, stick to your virtue, stick to your beliefs. Even if it hurts momentarily, even if she shames you for it momentarily, she will begin to build respect because you are a man of your word. She knows that you are unshakable. And when she knows that you are unshakable, if she were to actually go into a relationship with you, she'll know that you are a man of your word, a man of virtue, a man of clarity, and you are this like strong rock, this like rock that sticks to its own shit and doesn't get swayed by her and therefore won't be swayed easily by the world. She can count on you now. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, bro. In a bit.